When running your mobile mechanic business, should you use a CRM program or can you handle the marketing all by yourself? So you might be saying, what is a CRM? CRM is a customer relations manager. It's like having someone in your back pocket that can handle all of the follow-up and follow-through with your customers after the job is done, or even if you haven't seen that customer in a long time. There's a lot of features with these CRMs that we love. First of all, what CRM are we using? Well, originally, earlier in the year, we signed up with Shop Genie. Shop Genie, we thought was a very great company, the way that it all worked, and I like it. Now, we ended up canceling. Why did I cancel? Because I thought that I could do all this stuff myself, and I was sorely mistaken. Then we found out that TechMetric had acquired Shop Genie, and it was going to be integrated into TechMetric. And now that it has, we have re-signed up and set up all of our automations and our campaigns so we can actually do all of that follow-up and follow-through with our customers. Because let's face it, if we're not doing the follow-up, we're either A, leaving money on the table, not knowing that we did something wrong that the customer didn't like, and we're not talking on the repair, we're talking about as a business aspect. So there's a lot of information there that I just couldn't do on my own, and even with my wife here as part of the company, she can't do on her own, but with her having to do her job. There's only so much time in a day, and with a mobile service, I can't hire more and more people like that to do that office work. So something like this is great. Even if you have a shop, it's a great opportunity to use it. A lot of people have it, and it's a great product. So now that they're integrated with TechMetric, we've signed back up. So what are some of the features? Well, like I said, the main thing is it's a scheduler, meaning that you could technically have a customer go onto your website, which they give us a website. They build a complete website for us, which ours is still being built. It allows us with two-way text messaging within TechMetric, which now I don't have to worry about my phone as much as all of it gets put right into the program. So when we're on TechMetric, we can see all of that communication. We can see when they've opened their estimates, read it, they had questions, or they can reply back to the text message, whereas before they couldn't do that because we didn't have that set up in the program. Now we do. They can text back on that number and ask questions about that individual estimate or invoice that we sent them, and we can answer directly to them. So what else do they have? Well, the biggest thing for us is the automations and the campaigns. The automations are anything you can dream up. So for instance, let's say we haven't seen a customer in 6 months. Well, we can go in there and set it up to automatically send a text message or an email to any customer that we have not seen come through our doors in 6 months, or us going to them. I could do 12 months, I could do 3 months, I could do whatever I would like as far as an automation on that. We can set things up as in our calendar in there, we have appointments that we set up for our entire week. So what is it going to do? When we set them up on that appointment time, it's going to send them a text or email asking for a confirmation on that appointment time and date. And then the day before the appointment, it's going to send them a reminder letting them know the time and date we're coming. So that way we don't have customers that all of a sudden just ghost us and don't show up. Or if they don't respond to it, at least we know that they're not wanting to get on our list. So that's another great feature of it. Some other options are decline services. If you've got some jobs that you recommend certain services on and the customer declined that work, after X amount of time that you choose, it'll automatically send them a text or an email asking them, however you word the message, talking about those declined services so you can try to do that follow-up. Let's say you go out to a customer and you do an oil change, and now they're due for the oil change 5 or 6 months later. You can have that set up that every time that canned job, right? So a canned job is an oil change. We have it pre-set up. So every time that canned job is sold and closed, it flags that. And at your time interval, it'll automatically send them a reminder that their oil change is due, or a transmission service is due if you did a transmission service, anything. Whatever you set up on those reminders, that's what it'll do based on those canned jobs. You could also send out a survey. And what I mean by that is, let's say you want something in-house. You want to understand if your process is right? Your standard operating procedure. You want to make sure everything you're doing is good. You can send that out to a customer, any customer at random or every customer. You can send that out asking them, hey, how was this visit? How's your vehicle doing? Do you have any feedback for us? We want that. Now, some of you might think, oh man, I don't want all this negative. It's not about the negative. It's about you understanding where you are and getting a little bit of humility so you can make sure that you're doing the right things to make your company bigger and better than everyone else around you. Now let's say you're looking for reviews because you forget to ask people for reviews. It's automatically set up. It is linked to your Google business page, and every single time you're done with a customer and the time date that you send, it'll send them asking them for a Google review, and it'll automatically get posted directly to your Google business page. So that's a CRM program in a nutshell. There's a ton more information that we could actually put into another video for you if you guys would like. You got to leave those comments below. We'll definitely show you the program once our website is up and running, and we'll do a complete video on that. But until then, if you've been in business for a couple years and you're really just looking for that extra edge, go check out a CRM program. You don't have to use the one we recommend. There's a ton of them out there. Do your research. But I'm telling you, if you want to retain your clients and your customer list and keep track of your customers and where your company is and where you're going right and going wrong, a program like this is going to help you keep that edge.